This is step 3 in mapping a process. In step 1, we defined it with all this top material explaining what it does, why it exists, who it serves, what it serves. Then in step 2, we identified the major steps. We brought down, again, the output, who are we serving, what are we giving, the inputs, who and what are provided to do this process. Now in step 3, we are going to break down those major steps. For example, when it comes to identifying items needed, we're going to count inventory in the storeroom is one of the things that one of the sub-steps we'll do here. And I'm going to use my Alt and the Enter key to go down a blank line. This is on a PC. It probably is different on a Mac. And then a few more steps to gather what we need. You can see that we'll need to look up the customer orders. We'll have to consider the vendor lead times and then calculate the quantity needed. Similarly, when it comes to creating the purchase form, assuming this is something that we have on the computer, select the vendor, add the items, the quantity, and the prices that we've agreed on with this vendor, and then possibly log. I've decided in this example that we have a log, so you're going to log the vendor, the amount, and the PO number. I'm going to continue across with request approval, and this is where you can either incorporate your policies on who gets to make approval decisions or refer to a different resource that people can look up to say who gets to approve at what level. In this example, the supervisor gets to approve anything up to $100, the manager up to $500, and the owner over $500. And again, depending on how you keep track of your purchasing system, it's in software. This is automatic, but who approved and what was the date. When we submit the PO to the vendor, we're going to send the purchase order using whatever your system is, and then receive that confirmation number. Make sure that the log or whatever your tracking system is updated. And then my favorite, as I had mentioned earlier, confirming the receipt of goods, which says make sure that you got the right item. Make sure that you got the right quantity. Make sure that you got the right quality, like whether that's a random test depending on the volume. Is it the right thing? And then log the receipt of shipment. And notice whether it's good or non-conforming. And then finally, pay the invoice. And of course, we're only going to pay the invoice if the shipment is correct. And if it is, we're going to confirm the amount, the terms. We're going to submit it to whoever actually pays those bills. We're going to close the purchase order, update the log if necessary. And then this is calling out a great philosophy, is that if it's not correct, you're going to turn it over to a non-conforming goods process. In other words, this process is designed to cover what happens 80% of the time, because no process will ever capture everything, all the exceptions. So this is how I normally put it in there. If it's not correct, you're going to refer to a return non-conforming goods procedure.